Hey guys, DJ AJ101 here, and I'm here today with an article that I found on 9to5Mac.com, a place for all your Macintosh needs. Well, not really, but all the Macintosh news and rumors and information that's actually been coming out. And of course, Video Lane, which is a company that produces VLC. A lot of you may know them as the open source media player that is available for basically Linux, Mac OS X, and Windows. The all three variant flavors of the OSs. It's actually coming out with a brand new version of their media player, and I'll show it to you right now. Here's my screen. It's VLC 2.0. which is basically an upgrade from the Macintosh version, at least from my version anyway, that I've been using of 1.4. And of course, it's going to arrive with all new UI, native full screen support in line. So of course, they'll be able to take the advantage of full screen, like full screen applications that are in line right now, native from Apple, and of course, other developers that incorporated the full screen into their applications. And also, it will have Blu-ray support. Even though Macs do not come with Blu-ray players and or burners, it will have support to play your Blu-ray discs, which will be a nice enhancement and much more. Now, from just looking at this right now, it's actually going to be a pretty substantial update. Of course, it's going to be 64-bit end-to-end. It's going to be completely rewritten from the ground up, which will be a great enhancement. Of course, getting rid of all the past bugs and everything, so it'll be completely rewritten, which will be a nice enhancement as far as performance-wise and stability-wise. But it's also going to have some nice enhancements as far as UI. So it's actually going to take kind of like the iTunes window type and be a single media window interface, which is kind of coming from the previous version. I'll show you a picture of that right now, which on the Macintosh is always two parts. You'd always have kind of like your little playhead over here, and then you have your window and some basic play controls at the bottom. Well, that's actually going to be scrapped now because it's all going to be one window interface, kind of like it was on Windows. So it's bringing the Windows kind of like theme, but it's in a Macintosh type way, where it's going to be one screen window, and it's actually going to have some really nice enhancements as far as the audio and video is concerned, for as far as your tweaking and personal, preferences wise that you'll be able to do. So not only are you going to be able to play the latest HD, H.264, HD, 720p, 1080p, all those great videos, you're also going to be able to play it all the way down to MP3, WAV, whatever kind of audio file. So it's basically an open standards audio player, video player, and open source multimedia player. It's really great. But besides just the single window interface, it's also going to have, like I said, some great enhancements to your audio. Of some of the great stuff you'll actually be able to do as far as track synchronization. As you guys can see right here, there's a little slideshow running in the back. You'll be able to take advantage of some audio effects. You're actually going to be able to set the equalizer tones exactly like you'll be able to, kind of like you were in the last one, but with much more control. Video effects as well. You can basically announce the sigma, the gamma, the hue, the contrast, the brightness. It's also going to have playlists, as it's showing you right here, almost like iTunes. So in a way, this is kind of, like I said, a competition with iTunes, but not really, because I do prefer VLC just as my multimedia player as far as playing video. I don't really use it for audio. That's kind of what I have iTunes for, but it's nice to see that it'll actually be a contender, at least with iTunes, because really there hasn't been too many open source projects, at least as far as that look like iTunes, that I've really noticed, and this one really kind of does look like a nice little alternative to iTunes in the media player itself. And not to say that there's not a bunch of alternatives out there, but this one actually is the first one that really does kind of look like an iTunes, kind of like copycat. I know some people are going to complain about that, but the iTunes interface is nice. It's just that iTunes really hasn't been rewritten to take advantage of basically the enhancements of the Mac, and it's really gotten so bloated down. It's almost like bloatware in a way on Windows and on the Mac, and it's really not as feature friendly and performance wise as it probably could be. It would be really nice if Apple rewrote that. But anyways, we're going to keep moving on here, and of course it does play Blu-rays. Like I just said, it's going to have native Blu-ray support, which actually be pretty nice, because of course we know Apple hasn't included Blu-rays in their Macintoshes for a long time, and probably never will, considering to them the DVD and the CD drive and the optical drive is absolutely dead. So really not that big of a deal there, but it is nice to see an open source company like Video Lane actually building in support for at least to those of us that want to have or do have Blu-ray players and or burners. Will be able to watch our Blu-ray movies and stuff like that on it. If you guys want to check out the article, I'll absolutely leave a link in the description below so you guys can check it out for yourself. I just kind of went over some of the basics here. I'm not going to go overly much in depth. Of course, if you guys want to read it, and I'll leave it in the link so you guys can check it out for yourself. I really don't want to go over everything too in particular, but I just want to let you guys know that this is coming, and they have a cool little video down here. It really doesn't explain all little features in depth, but it kind of really does show how the development, at least as far as coding, kind of like a molecule format. It keeps spreading out and whatnot. But so if you guys want to check that out, please feel free. You are more than welcome. But I will leave a link in the description below, and I would love to hear what you guys think about this. Please feel free to leave your comments, and if you have questions, please feel free to message me. I'd be more than happy to answer them. What do you guys think about this media player? Do you think it's going to be better than iTunes? Do you think it looks great? I personally, like I said, I think it's going to be a great enhancement on top of iTunes, at least as far as those people that really don't like iTunes or really haven't found a great alternative for their media. I think this will be a great open source solution to those people, and especially being available on all three multiple platforms. It's going to be even better, because I'm sure there's a lot of Linux users out there that would like to have these enhanced features, as well as 64-bit support. And of course, iTunes is only available for Windows and Mac OS X. This one happens to be my favorite, so if it's your favorite, please let me know what you think, like I said, in the comments below. Also, rate this video up if you happen to like this video. I would sure appreciate that. And please feel free to check out my channel. I'll leave an annotation somewhere here on the screen so you guys can check that out for yourself. And also subscribe if you guys would like. That sure does help me out, and I sure do appreciate that very much. But anyways, guys, I've talked way too much today. This has been DJ AJ 101 here with just a quick little update. Coming soon is VLC 2.0, but you can also go to this link, and there's actually kind of like a beta that you can download right now to kind of test out its final testing process. So I'm hoping to see this very soon. But anyways, guys, I will see you in my next video. Have a great one until then.